Well, we all know about Lewis and Clark here in St. Louis, but there is another member of that expedition party that's often forgotten.
Yeah, Sydney Stallworth is wrapping up our Black History Month live in Hartford, Illinois. And Sydney has more on the third man on the journey that we should all know about, Sydney.
Right, Michelle, Rennie, we do know the story and we know about Sacagawea and her help in navigating the difficult terrain. But do you know about the African-American slave who was on this trip too? Now, William Clark had a slave his entire life. And when it was time to go on this expedition, he forced this man to come along. His name was York, and he ended up being a big reason why everyone made it back from this 2-year journey alive. York didn't have a choice in joining the expedition. Still, along the way, he hunted deer and elk for pelts and helped organize trade with the indigenous people out west. After the 2-year trip, York returned to his life of slavery. Clark refused to free him and ordered him to stay in St. Louis instead of returning home to Louisville, where his wife lived. Years later, York was a free man. He started a transportation business that eventually failed, partially because he couldn't read or write and because laws prevented free Black people from doing business in certain states. Now, we don't know much about what happened next, but historians do have a few theories.
According to some of the letters written, that York was on his way back to maybe be a body servant for Clark a second time when he dies in Tennessee. But there's another story that potentially goes on that York made it back west to live with the Crow tribe, and he made his way back west with a trader.
Now, we don't know much about York's later years because historians haven't been able to find a gravesite, but you can always come to places like here at the Lewis and Clark Historic Site to learn more about York and his life. Now, this site is here in Hartford, Illinois, the same spot York and the group set up camp. That's early in the 1800s, and they were here before they made their way west before moving on to what is now St. Charles, Missouri. I mean, it's been great. It's the last day of Black History Month. I've learned so much, and now we've learned York's story. That's the latest from Hartford, Illinois. Sydney Stallworth, 5 on your side.
Thank you, Sydney. She's been kicking